Did you know that the so-called experts out there say that us humans have just a very small DNA difference compared to a chimpanzee monkey? That difference is said to be approximately 2 to 3%. So we humans are really just smart monkeys. And the monkeys are almost like us, according to the so-called evolutionary experts. In other words, these monkeys are practically human, except for that small DNA difference of about 2 to 3% or so. According to the so-called evolutionary experts, humans and these monkeys are said to be so similar that we are both defined as primates and are closely related. However, apparently humans and monkeys have evolved from an unknown common ancestor millions of years ago. How convenient. For those people who believe that evolution is true and correct and should not be doubted, when someone says, "You're a monkey's uncle," as the old saying goes, it could be true. Humans are believed by many people to be very much like monkeys, and some of us even act that way sometimes. These so-called experts of evolutionary theory don't believe that humans grew and evolved directly from monkeys. They believe we all just had this unknown common ancestor which remains elusive and unidentified. How convenient. But since the chimpanzee monkey and a human are so very close together in their DNA content and structure, then both species must be related and that we can come to no other conclusion, say those experts. Time, energy, a common but unknown ancestor, and so-called very slow adaptation is what made humans. Okay, since it is shown that humans are approximately 2 to 3% different in bodily DNA as compared to these monkeys, then what does that actually mean? I believe it would literally mean that we humans are really just no more than overdeveloped, smarter animals living human-animal lives on Earth. We can also be called mammals or primates according to other definitions. But we are really just a higher form of chimpanzee monkey if you believe we evolved from a human-like ape millions of years ago. That's all you are? No big deal. Is that how we should think of ourselves? Just more developed primates with an additional 2 to 3% difference in DNA from the chimpanzee? If the experts had their way, then yes, that's how we should think of ourselves. Just overdeveloped monkeys. But we humans know we are much more than that. In fact, we are so much more than the chimpanzee monkey that it's not even close. Forget about DNA when it comes to comparing our two species, because in reality it means nothing. It should not be how similar we humans are to chimpanzee monkeys, but it should be how different we are in comparison to them. It's the vast differences that make humans a separate species and very different from these monkeys. Imagine a chimpanzee having human speech and conversation using the various words and languages that humans have. Imagine a chimpanzee walking upright on 2 legs all the time and not swinging in the trees. Imagine a chimpanzee population producing food like humans do and building a supermarket to display and sell that food to themselves. Imagine chimpanzee children and adults going to school to learn how to understand math, science, history, language, and other subjects. Imagine chimpanzees reading and understanding a book, watching TV and understanding what's going on, going to the movies and sitting there enjoying it, wanting to go out to eat in a restaurant, going to work to make money to buy a house, buy a car for travel, or using money to buy things. That will never happen. Imagine a monkey thinking they need to wear human clothes or any clothes, wanting to sleep in a bed, plant a garden, talking on a telephone, needing to look at a clock to know the time, or being able to appreciate the beauty of a sunset, or ocean, or flowers, or a monkey-made object. Imagine monkeys being able to appreciate the beauty of anything, such as art, music, different faces, the sound of a babbling brook, or the soft wind whispering in the trees. Monkeys don't care about those things. Monkeys, like other animals, can be trained to do or react to very basic things that humans might do. But we cannot read the thoughts of monkeys and know what they are thinking. We can only take our best guess as to what they are thinking. Monkeys don't want to go to Disneyland. They don't want to take a vacation. They don't want to watch a movie. They don't want to play sports. And they do not want to sit in a chair or live in a house. They are not human and do not think like humans. Monkeys don't look up into the sky and wonder about things or admire their beauty, such as clouds, stars, rain, the sun, or the colors of the sky. Monkeys don't have the same needs and desires as humans, except to eat, move around, sleep, make baby monkeys, and communicate sounds to each other. Imagine monkeys playing music together in an orchestra like humans do, playing the piano, violin, or guitar, and making music, or needing to play music at all. They don't know how, they cannot do it, and they don't care. Monkeys don't have the need to think about things like humans do. Monkeys exist, go through life not realizing they are getting older and not realizing that they even exist. They don't think about and contemplate such things. Their minds and thoughts are less than that of a 2-year-old human baby toddler. Monkeys will never care about or want to know how life started, how we all got here in this world. Where did the universe come from? And if there is a God creator for all of what we see? Monkeys don't care. The next time you see a monkey, don't think they are a reflection of you, because they are not. Chimpanzee monkeys just live and die, never giving thought to themselves in the way humans do. Yes, monkeys do react to various activities around them in different monkey ways, but they operate and think at less than a 2-year-old human child. Imagine 2-year-old human children living in our world on their own, and yet monkeys seem to do that in their world. Did you know that when these seemingly friendly chimpanzee monkeys appear to be smiling at you or someone else, those monkeys are not actually happy, and they are definitely not glad to see you. Their smile usually indicates they are afraid of you and apprehensive of what you might do. Monkeys are not like humans. Our toothy smiles do not have the same meaning as their toothy smiles. These so-called evolutionary experts have never seen the live workings or development of human and monkey biology over millions of years, with all the continued live changes they claim have happened. The so-called smart experts also say the human body parts like our brain, heart, and other organs have evolved over hundreds of thousands of years as our human activity levels gradually became more sustained. Remember, evolution has no brain, and everything simply happens by chance, because it needs to, according to the experts. They think they now understand that the human heart, coupled with changes in the musculoskeletal and thermoregulatory system, as an example, evolved to facilitate extended endurance activity rather than spurts of intense exertion. Evolution just figured it out. So just think about this for a minute. Evolution, which has no brain, does not think, and is not an entity by itself, somehow figured out by trial and error over vast amounts of time how to construct and operate the human and monkey bodies so they could survive and thrive from the beginning until now. The so-called common ancestor of man and monkeys, they claim, produced a split in these species so that monkey development was restricted to the basics, especially with regard to the brain, and our human development went far beyond. In other words, it all just worked out the way it did, by chance. Here's an amazing fact about the human body. It is estimated by the experts that we have over 7 trillion nerves in our bodies that measure about 45 miles long if the nerves were put end to end. The nerves inside of us are the electrical wiring for the human body. 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. This wiring needs to be accurate in every way, in every part of our bodies, so we can function properly within our everyday environment. The nerves are the communication system within our bodies. Our brain receives those nerve responses, then the brain instantly deciphers what it means and then tells the body what to do. The nerves register hot and cold, pleasure or pain, along with every sensory reaction we can have in any part of our bodies. Imagine 7 trillion nerves in our body all working, communicating, and sending messages to and from the brain every second of every day as long as we live. Imagine a home electrical system for all your electricity needs that power your appliances, lights, TV, fans, and everything else inside and outside of your home, having made itself over a long period of time and having no pre-made parts or designs for the electrician to use. What are the chances of that happening? The human body electrical wiring system is vastly more complex than your home electrical system or anything else on this planet. Our inside human body technology is far beyond what we can see on the outside of it. Is this impressive human nerve technology random and just happens to work because it was self-developed and perfected over a long period of evolutionary time? Or is this working human nervous system of 7 trillion nerves with multitasking communication, created all at one time by God, a creator being of some type? There are no other choices. If you believe that humans came from monkeys and all living creatures originated from a chemical reaction in a dark ocean over millions or billions of years, and then became random, unplanned cells, then you and I are ultimately meaningless if we humans got here just by time and chance? This is because so-called evolution does not have or operate on love. It does not care about you and is simply a means to an end, for life to exist and continue to exist and nothing more. We might just as well have been grown in a laboratory. Those people who believe that evolution can be the only answer to life and existence believe in pure luck. Evolution is really just luck if enough time and energy is involved. Evolution is not fact, even though there are people who want it to be fact. It is really just supposition based on putting aside the real evidence that would turn us away from evolution. They would say that everything in nature just works the way it does because it just does, because it needs to. We breathe the way we do because, well, we just need to or we cannot exist. That's like saying a car engine just works correctly all by itself because, well, it just has to or the car won't drive. No one made it, it just made itself. The so-called experts say that everything started out millions and billions of years ago as one-celled life forms, and prior to that, life may have started as chemical reactions in a primordial, watery soup. Sure, right, they don't know. Then one-cell life forms developed into millions of diverse earthly creatures all by themselves with no help, and they have millions and millions of cells and neurons in just one small portion of human and monkey brains. If you believe in evolution to be true, then humans and monkeys were not built, designed, or intelligently created. They came about by random substance or selection, luck, and time, and then became themselves because they had to survive and operate correctly. Everything just clicked. The theory of evolution would say that you and all other humans are lucky to be here. But as a human, no one really cares about you as a life form because no one made you. You just happened to be here for a moment in time, and then you are gone. Yes, you were born through human reproduction, but it was just by pure chance or pure luck that your life became you, the experts would say. Also, evolution would say that you live and survive because of luck and eons of time bringing together all human physiological and biological elements to operate in exactly the way they do. If the human bodily organs and skeletal structure were not exactly as they are, we would cease to exist. Sure, there can occasionally be human birth defects, but most humans live normally developed and expected lives. So we are either related to monkeys through an unknown ancestor in some unknown process, and we are lucky to be here, or there is an all-powerful creator who did it. Those are the only two options. Those people who believe in evolution and the way it has supposedly worked out do so because believing in an all-powerful creator God is definitely not an option for them. This is because the existence of God, creator, or a non-evolved, purposeful, and powerful force just does not make sense. The so-called experts believe that their educated guesses about how humans and monkeys and everything else came into existence have more so-called evidence than there is evidence for a creator God. Simple as that. Life is likely just a chemical reaction in an ocean, lake, river, or pond in the very beginning that turned into a single cell, and then eventually became monkeys and then humans, with no help from anyone. Yep, no problem. So that means that we humans are really just accidental, non-purposeful, overdeveloped apes who have somehow turned into what we are all by ourselves. We need to thank non-thinking and uncaring evolution for our lives and what it has brought to us over the last many millions of years. What all this really means is that humans are even less important to the existence and growth of the earth as compared to insects, flowers, and trees. Humans generally do not help the physical world, but instead they hurt the earth in a variety of ways. It is easy to see what humans have done to the environment all around them, and it is generally not good. The harm that humans have done to the earth is proof that humans are not needed in this world. If humans never existed, then all the other elements of life on this planet would be much better off. Humans are not needed in terms of helping the earth. The other life in this world would never miss having humans here. The other life, including monkeys, wouldn't care and would not think about needing a species like us. We may care about monkeys and want to see them, but monkeys can definitely live without knowing us and seeing us. We might as well be monkeys because at least we wouldn't develop weapons of war, cause pollution in the oceans and waterways, put smog into the air, and produce drugs and alcohol that destroy human bodies. We deceive ourselves if we think we are important to this world, especially if we believe that we humans evolved from nothing and then became a collection of unintended cells that eventually became the humans that exist today. If all we actually are is just a so-called evolutionary process that had no important reason to exist other than by sheer chance, then we are the saddest creatures of all. This is because then we would know we are not necessary or important to anyone as far as a long-term plan goes. We really have no value as evolutionary human creatures. In reality, evolution would simply make us all temporary and pointless life forms in a pointless universe. Based on an average human lifespan, in less than 100 years of an individual human life, each person will die and be gone forever, with no more colors and no more light, forever. Is that what you want to happen to you, or would you like more? In about 100 to 200 years after we individually die, we will all likely have been forgotten. Then, according to many scientists and astrophysicists, one day in the far future, the sun in our solar system will explode or burn out and our Earth will die. If the universe is pointless because it's an accident and coincidence, and if humans are just an evolutionary accident and coincidence because all life started as some chemical reaction in a primordial ocean, then why should we exist at all? Does it really matter? Humans ultimately have no importance, and the Earth does not need us if we think everything is here by chance. This is especially true if life was just a single-cell organism in the beginning all by itself, and then here we are today. To believe that story is to throw all logic and rationality out the window. Then it would be easy to believe that humans and apes are in the same family, and that having a very close amount of DNA with monkeys automatically makes us related in some way, according to the experts. Believing that premise makes humans just smarter, more developed monkeys, and each one of us are here and exist for a short time, and then we die. The world and our universe do not care about us. We are just a life form, no more, no less. Wouldn't you want to know that your life is not pointless? Existence is not pointless. Your birth is not pointless, and your eternity is not pointless. Don't you want more beauty in life after you die and this mortal life is over? Don't you want to be loved and give back love, observe and contemplate the beauty in this world and in other people, and be glad that you are here? Maybe you already feel that way. But then what will become of you when your eternity arrives? Do you want to know how to get all those things and also have a beautiful eternity after you die, which will be full of colors and light instead of a dark pit forever? Do you want real assurance of a happy and joyous eternal future instead of continuous loneliness and darkness forever? You and I will have an eternal, never-ending future somewhere. Where will you want yours to be? If you want to know more so that you can have a beautiful eternity of colors and light instead of an eternal pit of darkness with no more colors, then please ask me before it is too late.